Very good. Namaskar, Sarni. Today we're doing a session on Kashmir Shaivism. This is presented to you by KOA Heritage Committee on behalf of the Heritage Preservation Program. Besides Kashmir Shaivism and spiritual heritage, we also conduct programs for language preservation, for literature preservation, and also arts and crafts and other things. In continuation of the Kashmir Shaivism introduction series, what we want to do today is we want to introduce Lall Vakhs. Amrita ji is here today. She's going to introduce Lall Vakhs to us. And following the Lall Vakhs, we're also going to do another experiential session in a relaxed settings. And Vijay ji will lead that. With that, Amrita, handing it over to you for the Lall Vakhs, please.
Thank you, Dilip ji. Namaskar, everyone, and great to be here. And thanks for giving an opportunity. And I hope Isha joins because we actually thought we should do Lall Vakhs because she requested so. And but we can get started and she can watch the recording later on. So how many, firstly, I mean, they can raise their hands, right? So how many of you can understand Kashmiri properly? Or I should say, how many of you cannot? If you can raise your hands. So how many cannot understand Kashmiri? So Shibanji, your hand is raised. So you don't understand Kashmiri, and Pankaj can
No, that was a mistake. That was before he unmuted me.
Oh, okay. Okay, Pankaj doesn't understand Kashmiri.
I understand Kashmiri.
Okay. So I guess everybody understands Kashmiri is what my assumption is. So the crowd is Kashmiri, basically. Okay, so then it'll be quite easy and probably more fun to understand it, go through the meanings easily. So I'm going to share the screen. I'm following the book called, a second. So I'm going to share. Okay. So you can see this, right? So this book is Lal Vakhs Revisited, and it is written by Jawaharlal Bhatt. And there are a lot of Vakhs here, I mean, all of them almost, and about over 200 Vakhs. So in between, if you have any questions, please feel free to interrupt me. So we are going to cover two Vakhs today. And first we'll go through the Vakhs, and then if you have questions, you can let me know. We'll just dive into this Vakh 198. Vakh Tsantrevit Mokhvuch Haras. Telidiz Param Saras Manstha. Chal Zanun Chui Nar Bhav Saras. Huk Zan Kad Shah Maras Bal. So, how many understood the meaning? Or should I explain it?
You gotta bite it down, and after 3 words, stop and explain the meaning.
So there are some people who understand it right off because they're like really they have understood and read it before. So I just wanted to know if there is any what level of understanding is needed. So I can say by one line at a time. Dukh Tsantrevit Mokhvuch Haras. So dukh, dukh, right? So sadness, or in this context, it is anything that's worldly desire. And Har is Hari. So it is basically Shivji, right? So Dakh Thantrevit Mokhvuch Haras, matlab see his face, look up to him, basically. Tell these Param Sarasmans Thah. Thah is basically um, taking a plunge into and dousing yourself in it. So tell these Param Sarasmans Thah. Param Sar is basically Sar is basically a lake, something. So I'll tell you the meaning later, but first I'll tell you the words meaning. And then Chhal Zanun Chui Nar Bhav Saras. Chhal is chhal, matlab something like cheating, right? Or illusion. Zanun Chui Nar Bhav Saras. Bhav Sagar to आपको पता है, like worldly Bhav Sagar. Chui Zan Kad Shahmaras Bal. Shahmar is a python or like a royal snake, like a serpent, and Bal is a mountain in Kashmiri. So, what does it say? It's basically saying, and I'm reading it from the meaning written down below. It's saying, free yourself from the worldly desire, you will meet the Lord and douse into the nectar that would flow from the crown of your head. So that is Dok Chantrevit Mok which Haras, Til Diz Param Sarasmans Thah. By sustained devotion, you can awaken the effusion of the infinite energy hidden at the base of your spine in the form of a serpent. Hal zanun chui nar bhav saras, chuk zan kadshah maras bal. So you can remove the weight on your base of your spine, which is where the serpent, the kundalini is. So remove the weight from it and let it rise up your head sahasrara, so you can witness God and you can free yourself. Basically, this is what the meaning of the Vakh is. So this is the first Vakh, and Laleshwari, I wanted to tell a little bit about Laleshwari. If some of you don't know, Lal Ded, who we call her, her actual name is Laleshwari, and she was born around the time when when Shahmir, around 13th century. So when the transition of the Kashmir happened from like being completely Hindu, and there were, like Muslim invasions, and therefore she started off, and you will see a lot of her works towards the end, or towards her end of life, I would say, were a little bit more uh, tolerant towards the other Muslim side. So because she wanted to bring everybody together, and there are many works regarding that as well. But mostly her works are based on Shaivism, and so mostly on pranayam, Shaivism, Kundalini, rising of Kundalini, and Guru. How to choose a guru when you are practicing Kundalini and all that. So I'm going to go through the contents of this book quickly, and there are many other books that are very good also. But I follow this and I downloaded it from archive.org. But they are also available on. It's available to purchase online. So Laleshwari, whom I call Valmiki, and this is what the author writes, of Kashmiri language and literature, is held in high esteem by all Kashmiris irrespective of their faith. Her works are sung in the beginning of every raga of our classical music called Sufiana Kalam. That's what he has written, but I think it is also, what we say in when we sing puja or something like that, right? She was a great mystic and a Shaiva sadhika, or the seeker of divine through the path of Kashmir Shaiva darshan. She has left behind a corpus of her sayings, which are in form of four-liners called Vakhs. These have been translated into Sanskrit, Hindi, and English and interpreted by many scholars. So just want to give an introduction of Laleshwari, and yeah, it also talks about how other saints had followed her, and who she was following, etc. So let's go to the next Vakh. If nobody else has any questions.
Just one thing I wanted to say in the middle. So we would encourage you to interact with Amritaji and amongst each other for any of these things. So that's the reason why I have tried to promote everybody as a panelist so that this could be a more interactive session and you don't have to wait. It was in a webinar format, but we made it interactive. So feel free to talk anytime you want to, or either a comment or a question or whatever. Please feel free to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I still see there are like a few in the attendee list, but maybe they have to
Yeah,
acknowledge.
some people declined
I see. Okay.
promote. Yeah, so
Sounds good.
that's fine.
Okay, that's totally fine. And this will take another like maybe 2 minutes, and then I'll hand it over to Vijayji. So this is the other Vakh that Vijayji said that would be more useful for, would be also useful for the session that you guys are going to do next. Um, Karam z karan tre kombit yav labak parilukas ank what khas sarmandalas kombit tavai chali marnai shenk. So I'll go again word by word. Karm z the karan tre kombit means kombun means to suppress. So karam two karams and tre karan, three karans, tre causes. Yav labak parlukas ank. That's when you will, parlok is basically heaven. That's when you will ank go a place, or ank matlab ek ank like ginti, like a numeric. So you will find a place in heaven. What khas sarmandala tsombit? Tsombit go to pierce through. Sarmandal is basically Surya Mandal, right? So which is the orbit of the sun. So what khas and pierce through the orbit of the sun. Tavai
The word
chali.
is Siri Mandal. Siri
Siri
Mandal.
Mandal. Yeah, Siri Mandal. What khas Siri Mandal Swambit? Tavai chali marnai shenk. That's when you will be free of the fear of um, death, basically. Shenk is Shanka. Okay, so I think we all understood the Kashmiri part, I'm guessing, and we'll go to the meaning of what the depth of it. So you face two karmas, good and bad, and three causes of the existence in this material world that are malas. Destroy them with the practice of breath, Kumbhak Yoga. You will earn good honor for your future life. Lift yourself up, cutting across the orbit of sun to exonerate yourself from the pain of death. So here, Kumbhak is actually very funny. Is that Kumbhak Yoga is actually a Sanskrit word, but Kumbhak is also a Kashmiri word which means to suppress. And Kumbhak Yoga is a yoga used to suppress your desires. Very interesting. And not desire, sorry, it is the phase of the breath where you hold the breath, whether it is after you take shwas and hold or after you leave or hold. It's called kumbhak, that state. And funnily, there is a Kashmiri word called kombith, which means to suppress. So very interesting derivation there. So here it actually talks about z karam karam ch z asan, good and bad, and what is a good karma and what is a bad karma. So people say, okay, desire to sabki hoti hai, you have, everybody has a desire. Whether it is good or bad is based on whether it is necessary or not, right? So it is considered, if there is an unnecessary desire that you don't need, that is considered bad. And incessant calls of the desires of the body are considered bad. What are good? Good is anything positive that influence anything positive in thought or action, which would be a positive thing for yourself or to others. That is considered good. So it says karam z kombit karan tre. Karantrech, basically, he's talking about causes of the existence in this material world, which is also called malas. So, what are those three malas? The three malas are, you might have already learned it from Vijayji, Karma mala, Mayaya mala, and Anava mala. So karma mala is example is I am happy, I am sad. That is karma mala. Maya mala is this is mine and this is not mine. That is yours. Anava mala is a little more like it's elaborate actually. It can be selfish, greedy, lustful, defensive, offensive, or failing to discriminate between good or bad. That is anav, what you do pranayama is actually anava upay. Basically, something at the base of the like the basic form of yoga that is done for the humans. So Anav is basically us, right? So these are the three malas it says that you need to suppress, and the two karma, whether good or bad. And it says you have to destroy them, and that's when you will find, the way to God. And with that, I'm going to conclude. So thank you.
Thank you, Amrita ji.
Thank
21
you.
minutes. Great.
Thank you.
So one question about Lalishwari. You said that she got this when you were when you were talking about her, she got this gyan. At what stage did she get this gyan? And can you talk about that briefly? I mean,
So the thing is that she started so her history is basically that they say people who are in a comfort zone in their lives, they don't seek out um, higher possibilities. So Laleshwari went through a very difficult time with her household, situation. Women were not at that time treated well at home or whatever. There was like it was a patriarchy in many households, and her household as well. Her mother-in-law was not treating her well, etc., etc., and her husband also was not available, etc. So details apart, when you go through something difficult in your life and it's challenging, you try to find ways to um, uh, overcome them. And her way, and she went on different paths. And at some point, and Kashmir, I think Kashmir is in a way, I feel like it is, how Paris, I think is, everybody is a painter in Paris. If you go to Paris, everything is about like fashion, it's about painting, etc. When you talk about Kashmir, Vaite Vaite Chasan Sant. So say, uh, the the feeling of spirituality and the teaching of spirituality is in this on the streets of Kashmir. It's everywhere. You can find it in every house, and I'm sure everybody here, whichever family you're coming from, somebody or the other would have been waking up at 3 o'clock and doing some meditation in your, the older people, right? Um, so so she did the same. She went out and sought, and she found a few gurus, and she went from one guru to another guru. And in fact, there are Vakhs in her book where she mentions the importance of the right guru, and how you should be able to discriminate, and how you should, what you should feel when you are meeting the right guru. So it's very important to get. So she went through the journey of finding a guru, and finally she had this awakening when she was in her midlife, and then she started writing the Vakhs. And the beautiful part about awakening is that writing poetry becomes the first indicator of your awakening. Poetry just flows, and that is one of the indicators of an enlightened soul.
so
I hope I answered
she
your
went
question.
she went for looking for the gurus, and ultimately, who did she settle on as the guru?
So she had multiple gurus, and you can read about it. And Nundrishi was probably one of them, right?
Later, came later. He
Came
came
late.
later.
Oh,
Yeah.
Nundrishi followed her,
He
I
was
think.
followed. He followed
He followed her. She was Nundrishi's yeah.
Guru.
But
Guru.
but it's not. She has not mentioned in clear terms who her gurus were.
Multiple.
So I have a story to tell here. So Nundrishi was not Lal Dad's guru.
No,
It
no,
is
he was
Follower.
her follower.
yeah. So
Follower.
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. So what happened was, it is said that those two were in astral planet somewhere else, and because they did something wrong, they took the form on this earth. Both Nundrishi and Laldat. Laldat came before him.
Yes, that's what we clarify. Yeah, I
When
wanted to.
Nundrishi was born, so he was not. When he was born, he was not taking milk from mother. He refused it because he didn't want to come to earth. So Laldat came to him and spanked him. Nisharam Cheniwa, Zanam Hatut, Vanchukni Chavanye. Then he started drinking milk. That's the story.
Wow.
That little bit I know.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. So
I know
actually,
one thing. I know one thing, that Sadmul was her guru.
yeah.
Actually, later on, Sadmul was her guru, and she was devoted to her. That is what she always says, that Goran Vunnam Kuni Vatsun, Nebru Vunnam Andar Atsun, Time Gau Lall Vakhs Vatsun, Tami Hutum Nahangai Natsun. So this was Sadmul, who was her guru, and she was totally submitted to her. That's what I know.
So actually, in her Vakhs, when you read, you will understand that she did not follow just one. She might have finally settled on one, but what I was trying to say is the journey of finding gurus, and um, uh, but what I'm saying is that when we practice here, it's very important that we find, or we are able to identify the right guru for yourself, and
I think towards that point of Sadmul, what we are talking about. So Sadmul was a simple Kashmiri Pandit, right? He had a Thokur Kut where small room to pray his own, right? And so Laldat, when she was elevated, she went to Sadmul's and he was in his Thokur Kut. So what Laldat did there was she peed. And Sadmul told her, "Se kya hui?" She said, "Great famous. What has happened to you?" दोनों तलबीवान में Lalda told him that everything is God, everything is same. Whether it is your Thokurkut, it is outside, it is here, there is no difference. So Sadmul told her, "Okay, tell me where you have reached." So what Lalda did was there was a clay pot which is called a tok in Kashmiri, and what she did was she became a drop of mercury, and she rotated in that clay pot. And then what Tadmol told her, yeah, it is very great. You have achieved height, but Winti Chellar, you still have a little bit of this. And when Sadmul was doing his puja, in the meantime, he told Laldat, "Okay, Talbi Mitra Patkin Kamras Dog," means just massage my back. He told Laldat. So when Laldat was giving her the massage, her hand was falling to the ground. Sadmul was not there. He was all dissolved into the five elements. So what I'm trying to say that, that is the story between Sadmul and Laldat.
Okay, good. It's a good discussion. I think we should transition to.
Yeah. Also, I wanted to correct myself. She was born around 1300s, which makes it 14th century, not 13th
14th
century.
century,
Yes.
right? Okay, should we move forward?
Thank you.
Thank you for the discussion, Asha ji and Rakesh ji, and clarifications. So the great thing that I feel so good about is that youngsters like Amrita ji are taking initiatives, and they are all kind of carrying the wisdom forward. So the next part, I'm not going to share anything today, but I just want to kind of start with one little fun fact about Laleshwari. There was a book that has been released about Laleshwari in March 2023, Inspired Wisdom of Lala Yogeshwari by Swami Nirmalananda, whose actually original name is Abbot. He's a Christian, Abbot George Burke, and he's from the original Christianity, original yoga in New Mexico. And he's written this book, which was released last year. It's on Amazon. And, I was kind of surprised to know that she follows the Nath Yogi Sampradaya. And Nath Yogi Sampradaya is the same Sampradaya that Yogi Adityanath follows. And I was kind of I thought that it was interesting that ascetic Lal, who was an ascetic, followed the same tradition. It is called the Soham Sadhana, which is Soham means I am that. So they followed the same sadhana, but this Nath Yogi Sampradaya actually evolved into something new. And as you probably most of you know, they are the descendants of or followers of Matsyendranatha and Guru Gorakhnatha, so Gorakhpur, which is where Yogi Adityanath is, headquartered. So, yoga in action is what this new form of this sampradaya is kind of showing. And, it's kind of interesting to know that they all came from the same origin. And in fact, this 14th century was the time when this wisdom of Kashmir Shaivism was spreading throughout the whole country. And, Guru Nanak and Surdas and Kabir Das and all of that, that was informed by some of the ideas that came from Kashmir Shaivism. So that I thought was a good fun fact to know about the common origin of Lalla and Guru and this Yogi Adityanath. Okay, so and the other thing that Amrita ji talked about was towards the later part, she became more tolerant and accepting of the Islam that came. And in fact, during that period, even though all of these atrocities were happening, at the same time, Islam was adapting to Kashmir. And Nundaresh was a big vehicle of that. And Nundaresh is supposed to have, he was originally called Sahajananda. And he created the Sahaj Islam. It's like, this came in the Kosher Samachar recently. And actually was also published in Greater Kashmir, that he created this Sahaj Islam, which was like a simple form of Islam. And it is also part of the Nath Sampradaya, that's Sahaj Yoga. So anyway, that was another part of this fun fact. So I wanted to also say happy Navratri to everybody. And Navratri is all about Shakti. And Kashmir Shaivism is a Shakta tradition. And, we heard in these two walks about the chakras, actually, what happens to the Sahasrara and what happens in Muladhara, the serpent power and the nectar that flows from the crown of your head. And, it talks about, awakening the effusion of the energy from the serpent. Serpent is the Muladhara. So this Kundalini Yoga came about in Kashmir Shaivism. It was not there before. So all of these chakra system and all came at that time. So Ichha Shakti is the primary motivating energy that drives the evolution of this field of all possibilities. Shiva is supposed to be field of all possibilities, and Kundalini Shakti is a form of Ichha Shakti. And like it said last time, it has got 6 different manifestations. Kundalini Shakti has got 6 different manifestations. There is a highest one, which is the Soham, I am that, and that's what Lalla was practicing. And the second one is called Nadveda, intense desire to do the practice for the benefit of humankind, common good. So that's what has been the theme for us in the series of Kashmir Shaivism lectures, that we want to solve the crises in the humankind, where the whole society is quickly moving towards a very disastrous kind of a crisis. And this is at a bigger level. This is happening, like, as the ecological ceiling is being breached, and the social foundation is being breached, and we are heading towards a bad. I mean, not only are we having these local incidents where, for example, all these wars that are happening today in the last few weeks and stuff. But on a larger scale, the crises are hitting the humankind. And to shape this better tomorrow for the society, we need to practice this Nada Veda, that is benefit of humankind, so that the Ichha Shakti manifests itself. Ichha Shakti manifests itself to do that. So, and with that Ichha Shakti, we will innovate ideas and we will innovate technologies, we'll innovate chemistries to realize the optimistic future for our next generation. And that's supposed to be the objective of evolution. And manifesting field of all possibilities is what we are supposed to be doing. And this is in the field of science and technology and economics and politics and ethics and aesthetics and public health, all of these areas. So we will start like last time we did with the sankalp. Each one of us is in different fields, where some people are in economics, some people are in technology, some people are in health, and we are all kind of having some expertise, having some jnana yoga. We have got some gyan, and we are capitalizing on all of that. And it should not be for the selfish motive, as Amrita ji said, as part of that Lall Vakhs. It should not be for selfish motive. It should be to overcome the bad karmas, which are extraction and exploitation. The bad karmas are extraction and exploitation, needing more than what you actually need. Good karmas are just getting the good karma, good things that you need, basic need things. But bad karmas are when you are extracting and exploiting. So when we say this Nada Veda, which is the second form of Kundalini Shakti, we need that. All that it means is working towards the benefit of humankind. So whenever we have a desire, it's not for my selfish motive, it's for the common good. So that's what sankalp should be. So today we're going to start with the sankalp. Each one of us will have our own thing. Some of us are in economics, some of us are in clean energy, some of us are in software, and we're creating new algorithms, all kinds of things. So we start with some sankalp in my life. So it's not about sitting in the Thokurkut and doing meditation, but it's about living a life. And we have a sankalp. And then we'll start with like we did last time, we'll start with a relaxation. So we relax our entire body. So sit upright and with your head stretched upwards, back stretched, erect, and just let the entire body relax. Let go of any thoughts, which is basically what our monkey mind does all the time. So let go of those thoughts, random thoughts. Relax your entire body and breathe deeply. Deep breaths. Notice if you have any soreness in any part of your body, and target your sense of relaxation. Send the signal of relaxation to that area and dissolve that pain or that soreness. Feel entire body as if it is melting into the ground. So no tension anywhere. It's just completely let go. And focus on being breathed. We think that we are breathing, but we are not breathing actually. We are being breathed. It's automatically happening. Even if we want to stop it, we can't. It will automatically happen. So focus on that breathing, which is the blessing of Shiva and Shakti to us. That's how we survive. That's how we get all the energies that we have. The moment we stop breathing, within a couple of minutes, we will have none of those energies. And it's not just about the air that we breathe, but it's all the energies that come about from that Shiva and Shakti through the breath. And with entire body relaxed, entire mind completely settled down, simply be mindful of the awareness. That is the true self. Your true self is not about thinking about the past or imagining the future. It's about just focusing on right now, which is mostly breathing. That's what you're doing right now. You're not doing anything else. Just focus on the breathing. And in the next few minutes, we'll just breathe 10 times, and we'll breathe deeply. It's like a pranayama meditation. And as I said earlier, prana is not air. Prana is more than air. It's the energy that we get. Every pore in our skin is also breathing. Not only is our nostrils breathing, our pores are breathing. And now look at your body and your mind as if you're looking at it from outside. And now we'll take notice of all the Shaktis in us. And those Shaktis are residing all over our body, even in our feet and, fingers. But there are primary energy chakras or centers, which are, going from the top of the crown to the Muladhara, the 7 chakras. They have a very sophisticated symbolism. These chakras, they're associated with lotuses of different kinds of petals and different colors and all kinds of things, and how they are rotating and or not. We'll not go into that sophistication. We'll just recognize all parts of our body and the chakras in which some of the energies are located. And we showed the picture last time of different chakras. So the root chakra, which is also called the Muladhara, at the end of the spinal cord, is the energy of abundance. It's the closest to the earth. In our body, it's the closest to the earth when we sit down. And it is associated with Lakshmi or Bhudevi also. Bhudevi is earth. And earth is the source of all abundance. And our root chakra is where all that abundance gets stored. And that abundance will help us, or helps us all the time, in manifesting our dreams. So this is the abundance of resources, abundance of time, abundance of will that we have, because of which we're able to manifest our objectives or sankalpas with all those abundant resources. Just above the Muladhara is the Swadhisthana, which is the sacral chakra. And this is the energy of fierce passion that we have in that area where, life is created. We have all the sexual organs there. The life is created there. There's a creativity, infinite creativity over there in that area. And it not only creates life, but it also creates emotions and ideas to navigate the challenges in our life. So with both the Lakshmi in the Muladhara and this energy of passion in the sacral chakra, the Swadhisthana chakra, let us surrender ourselves to these and recognize these Shaktis in our body. Next up is the solar plexus chakra, which is the Manipura chakra. And this is the place where we have the energy of confidence, determination. And through our life, when we feel, when we feel that our objectives or our sankalpas are not being met, this chakra gives us the confidence and determination to face those challenges and course correct. And as we course correct, we make changes, this chakra helps us to maintain equilibrium so that we don't falter. And again, let's bow down to that Shakti in us, the confidence and determination. And then the heart chakra, the Anahata chakra. And this is where energy of love and compassion, forgiveness, this all resides there. And at the same time, it also gives us energy to overcome the adharmic forces in our interactions in our life. So as we embark on our objectives and tasks, we face these negative forces. And overcoming them is like overcoming the Rakshasas and or the Asuras. So this chakra, heart chakra, is the central chakra, which is also the seat of Durga. And this is, as you know, Durga also does this samhara of asuras. So this chakra gives us all those powers to allow the team members we are working with express compassion as we carry out our jobs, think about people that we are working with, and not be self-centric. This is the source of that power, that energy, compassionate and forgiveness. And not only forgiving, but also seeking forgiveness. The throat chakra, which is next up, is also called Vishuddha chakra. Throat chakra is the energy of authenticity, authenticity in our communication, authenticity in our self-expression. And this gives us ability to openly and clearly express ourselves and communicate our ideas to each other. And this authenticity is the energy that helps us to build trust. And next one is the third eye chakra, which is the Ajna chakra. And this is the area where we purify our intentions through our inner wisdom to discern and judge from all the noise that we see. We see so much noise because we are living in the world of duality, with all the malas and the karmas manifesting themselves with all kind of positives and negatives. And this is the chakra where we make sense and gain clarity from all that noise. And crown chakra, that's the topmost chakra, Sahasrara, is the ultimate pure inner energy of limitless Sat Chit Anand. That's where we derive the field of all possibilities that Shiva is, and all the Shaktis that Parvati is. We derive all of that from this crown chakra. And this is the one which enables us to perform the Ichha Shakti, Jnana Shakti, and Kriya Shakti. So let us think about all of these energies and Shaktis in us, which is during this period of Navratra, who we bow to. And let's take some deep breaths. Take a deep breath. Rest at the junction of breathing in and breathing out. That was the Kumbhaka that we heard about from Laleshwari's Vakh. And that is where, in that Kumbhaka, we are closest to Shiva and Shakti. Breathe out. Again, rest in the junction of breathing out and breathing in. That's also the resting place where we are closest to Shiva and Shakti. And that's where we have the ability to dissolve our malas and good and bad karmas. So do this 10 times. Breathe in, rest, breathe out, rest at the pause, at the junction. Breathe in deep. Breathe out deep. Our body is completely relaxed. Our mind is completely relaxed and focusing on this breath. Let's breathe fourth time. Fifth time. Take a pause at the junction. take a pause at the junction. We're not thinking about anything else. We're not thinking about the past or the future. We're just focused on the breath.
Can you go slowly a little bit?
One more. By relaxing and focusing on our breath with an extra focus on the pause, we're in a better position to draw from this Sat Chitanand at the Sahasa. Now we're going to be going in the opposite direction. Again, think about the sankalp that you have in your area, whatever you're doing in your day-to-day life as a householder, at work or at home. Sankalp, keep that in mind. And focus on the crown chakra, Sahasrara, and draw freely from the limitless field of all possibilities that Shiva is. That is the Satchitanand, from which is the ocean of Ichha without selfishness, an ocean of Jnana without any arrogance, that's my Jnana. It's an ocean of Kriya, all work, all action is possible from this ocean of Satchitanand, and it's without any attachment to the results. This is the ocean that we are tapping into. And going down to the Ajna chakra, we are now deploying the Shakti in us to purify from all the noise, because even though we're drawing from the limitless potential, we all are limited by good and bad karmas and limited by the malas. So what comes through to the third eye is a noise from all of that karma and from all of those malas. So third eye chakra helps us to purify our intentions through our inner wisdom. And we incorporate this discernment and judgment to process the Ichha Shakti, the Jnana Shakti, and Kriya Shakti in us by meditatively acting to realize the Sankalpa with integrity. And while we are dissolving these impurities, the malas, and dissolving the limitations, which are also the kanchukas, which come from those good and bad karmas. And next, after having clarified our intentions, clarified our way forward, strategy on how we are going to achieve our sankalpa through a clarity of the third eye, we now go to the throat chakra, which is the area of authenticity, Vishuddha. This is the area where we now meditatively enable communication and self-expression with openness and clarity to self and to others while performing towards our sankalpa. So we're drawing from the field of all possibilities, pure Ichha, pure Jnana, pure Kriya, which we have acquired access to through our education, through our upbringing. We're drawing from all of that infinite Icha. We're clarifying, we're muddling through our karmas and malas to purify our intentions and clarify our thoughts so that we are not focused on extraction and exploitation, but we're focused on doing good according to the second manifestation of Kundalini Shakti. And now we are communicating with authenticity and expressing ourselves, which is the expression of Saraswati. So Saraswati in us is now in action. Now we go to the heart, Anahata. This is the energy of compassion. Now we're working with all our colleagues, all the people in our families, our communities, to realize the sankalpa that we have, as the case may be. And we now deploy the energy of love, compassion, forgiveness. And if we see challenges because of asuric and adharmic forces, we have the courage and energy to overcome them on a day-to-day basis as we work towards realizing the sankalpa. Solar plexus chakra is the next one, where we find challenges, we recognize challenges, we recognize risks and mitigate them with energy of confidence, determination. And as we do that, we make course corrections and overcome the risks towards achieving the goals. So we do all this every minute of the day as we are carrying out our work in a meditative fashion. And then the next chakra, we're evoking that energy for theory, passion, and creativity, passion for our goal, passion for our doing good. And then we deploy this creative passion and emotions and ideas to innovate new paths towards achieving the sankalpa, new innovations. This is the creativity, tapping into the creativity in us. And as we go down, we evoke the next energy, which is the energy of abundance. So we never get dissuaded in achieving our sankalp because there's a lack of this or lack of that. Or I don't have enough time to do this, or I don't have enough resources to do this. We overcome all those obstacles with a sense of abundance and not let resources, time, and challenges come in the way. So this is where Lakshmi comes in, and we are bowed down with them. So during this period of Navratra, we're trying to kind of bow down to all these energies in us and utilize them in living our day-to-day life. Kashmir Shaivism is all about householder, living our day-to-day life, meditating while we work, while we live, not sitting, for 1 hour and doing meditation, but meditatingly doing the work as we achieve our goals or work towards achieving our goal. And in this process, because we are working for the common good, we are dissolving the attachments, the kanchukas, and we are dissolving the impurities, the malas. And whatever achievement we get out of this work, we are offering the fruits of that to the common good. It's like offering, like swaha. So this is a practical application of, this is the highest, actually, this is the highest state in Kashmir Shaivism. of achieving meditation and yoga with the ultimate reality. So again, let's just take a deep breath and think about this as being the highest state, where we evoke all our energies every minute of our day and recognize this Shakti in us and deploy this Shakti in us every minute. If there is any need for some Q&A or something, can stop here. We have a couple of minutes left. But that concludes our experiential session.
It was very good. Thank you. So I think from start, Amrita ji did a very good job. I think from 2 to 4, we can go to shlokas. I really enjoyed the way she explained it and all. And then we can have this, experiential session, and it was very good. So that's just my suggestion.
So the one thing that I was trying to understand myself, Oski, energy sources kunjai pattern iman be confidence, passion, determination associated. But it's hard to sort of remember or put that focus in sound for a particular thought. The thought and that source of energy, I was not able to understand how to feed that.
Actually, you don't have to. This is the center of that energy. These are the centers of these energies, but they actually are entangled. This energy is entangled throughout the body. It's not, in my view, in my understanding, it's not that there is no confidence anywhere else in the body. It's all of this is entangled. This is just the source of it's a chakra. It's the center of the chakra. It's distributed all over our body. So you don't necessarily have to focus on that part of the body only. You have to just think about the energy that you have, that Shakti that you have in your body.
Right.
Ashajit, you were going to say something?
Yeah, no, sorry, it got this. Well, I liked both these sessions very nicely. It was very nicely put, and the Lall Vakhs were explained nicely. And these chakras, the energy sources, it was really elevating I think for me, because I meditate sometimes, but today it got clarified. Thank you very much. And thank you to Amrita ji also for giving that elaborate explanation of Lall Vakhs. Thank you very much. That's what I wanted to say.
Actually, I wanted to say that we actually picked these two Vakhs because they resonate with the practice that we did. We did the breathing exercise, we did the kumbhaka, we focused on the pause, which is basically where we have the best chance of really realizing our soul. And Dilip ji, basically what happens is that when you get the anugraha, when you get into that state of enlightenment, you don't have to do any of this thing. We don't have to put any effort in this. It will happen automatically. But we are living in Kali Yuga. We are living in this world of duality. So we are not in that state. There are very few people who are in that state. And this is not nothing wrong. This is the way it's supposed to be. This is the way this yuga, the Kali Yuga is. This is the way this world of duality is. And there's nothing wrong with this. And we'll have to put a lot of effort to do this. And these upayas that we have, the Shaktopayas and all the upayas that we have, Samba upaya and all, these are the practices that are supposed to help us get to into that stage where this comes naturally to us. And as we said earlier, this poetry flows automatically when you reach that state. This authenticity happens automatically when you reach that state. No matter how much we try right now, it doesn't happen because we are living in a different world where we are completely emerged or immersed in the Malas and the Kanchukas, and nothing wrong with it. This is the way Shiva and Shakti are expressing themselves to manifest the field of all possibilities through us. Each one of us is unique to do exactly what we are doing.
Thank you so much, Vijay. I enjoyed this session again today. Complete session was great. I think many people also commented the same thing, that the format of the session was really good. So I think we should continue similar formats in the future. I know we wanted to get to the topics of deep dive today, but we're already over time. What we should do then is share those topics on the chat. That's where we have the group chat. More people can also respond based on their convenient time also, and then we can also determine what will be the next session, what we will do. But I think the format that we had today, and the impact it was having on people was really great.
And Dilipji, does this relate to the world we are living in today? What I was trying to kind of make it as relevant as possible for the lives that we live in,
Yeah. Yeah, so personally speaking, when you asked to take a sankalpa, I was thinking of my immediate sankalpa really. I didn't go into anything else, just the immediate sankalpa, and trying to utilize that. I think if we relate it to our day-to-day lives like that, the sankalp, and focus these energies to help achieve those sankalpas in a way. So then we might get the siddhi.
Yeah, the siddhi, exactly. That siddhi is basically, we have this Chakri Surasmanchu Sri Chakrachu, it has got all of these triangles and petals and stuff, and they're all routes that they have mapped, and I don't understand them. I mean, a lot of people don't understand them, but they're all routes that are there in the. I mean, the purpose of these sessions is basically to get people excited about this thing and look into it more.
Yeah.
We don't know enough about it.
No, I think even if we know a fraction of a fraction of the real knowledge, that will in itself help a lot. We at this point we're unaware of much of it, but as this makes it aware, I think, and if we're able to imbibe that in our day-to-day lives, to me, I think it's going to be very meaningful as we understand it.
Yeah. And, Shaktopai, for example, is a topic of PhD for Chris Wallace when he went to Berkeley, or was it Oxford? I don't know where exactly he did that PhD. His PhD was on that Shaktopaya. So he went deep into it. So some of us will have to our future generations will have to pick up this literature, very rich literature of Abhinavagupta and all, do all of that stuff.
Yeah, Vijayji, I think Shambhu Pai, I mean Anu Pai is something we can't do anything about because that will just come to us. It's just some epiphany. And Shambhu Pai and Shaktu Pai both are little advanced than Anavu Pai. And speaking of Laleshwari, she did Anavu Pai and she did just as good. So I think what we are doing with pranayama is enough if we just do that properly. So which is
What we did today is just to kind of touch the surface, but most people spend an hour or half an hour or at least 10 minutes to just do that pranayama with that kind of a attitude where surrender, body surrender, mind surrender, and all of that stuff. That surrender is bhakti to the Shaktis.
Do you know if Lakshmanju, what he did was, it would also be considered Anavopai, right?
Yeah, I mean, it all depends on the individual. Every individual, some people, they just get into it, they just get it automatically. That's Anupaya.
Yeah.
Who just get it automatically. They may be thieves, like, the person who wrote Ramayana, he was a dacoit, right? He just got it. He did not do anything. He did not do any upaya. He just got it.
Yeah.
Blessing.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. So I wanted to just I'm still trying to understand that part, but maybe in other sessions in the future we will get in more detail with
Yeah, we
that.
can do the deep dives. That's why deep dive sessions should do. I wrote a few topics for deep dive sessions, and if you people want to prioritize them or you want to add some things, or
We
we
can
should do
just
that
go
through the
slowly
chat.
because yeah, let's go slowly.
Yeah. That's
One
more word for
upayas are different upayas, and you can broach on one session or multiple session on each upaya.
Correct. That's what I had said. One particular session we can just do, let's say Shaktopaya, because it's not like we have to have the material, and I have some material there. So if others have some material in other upayas, we can just have them lead that session. But
yeah, I think
Drop
we
off,
should
I
do
have to go
that.
somewhere. But thank you so much, everybody,
Thank
and
you.
namaskar.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Vijay ji, I have a question.
When
Firstly, one more word for this format. This is very good exercise. We should continue. My question was this Soham Sadhana, is this equivalent to that fourth Mahavak? I am Atma Brahman.
Mahavak of what treatise? What
Vedantic Mahavak.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. As I said, I have kind of started looking into this and touching, wetting
Sounds
my
like
feet.
that.
I'm just like a child who has gone into this candy shop and found some candies, and I'm just coming and showing you guys these